The Bradford City Stadium fire grips the sports world on this date. Welcome back to On This Date. Today's date is May 11th, 2023. It is the 131st day of the year. You got 234 days left. It is the 19th Thursday in the 19th week and the 53rd day of spring. There are 41 days left until summer. Today is National Hostess CupCake Day. Hostess CupCake Day is celebrated annually on May 11th to commemorate the day the first Hostess CupCake was sold in 1919. Wow, that goes way back. Produced by Taggart Baking Company, Hostess cupcakes were originally known as chocolate cupcakes, not Hostess. I think one of the most tragic things Hostess ever did was get rid of the foil wrapping on ding-dongs, and they shrunk them down. Side note, back in the day, ding-dongs in Canada were called King Dons, and at one point in different parts of the United States, they were sold as big wheels. All right, let's see what else May 11th has given us. 1813, William Lawson, Gregory Blaxland, and William Wentworth discover a route across the Blue Mountains, opening up inland Australia to settlement. Along that highway, which it is now, there's Lawson, it's like a little town. Then there's also Wentworth Falls. I couldn't find anything named after Blaxland, other than a small, well, it's good size, park in Sydney. 1889, an attack upon the U.S. Army Paymaster and escort results in the theft of over $28,000 and the award of 2 Medals of Honor. Now, this happened in the Arizona Territory, and it's also known as the Wham Paymaster Robbery. What happened was Major Joseph W. Wham was transporting a payroll consisting of more than $28,000 in gold and silver coins from Fort Grant to Fort Thomas in the Arizona Territory. In today's money, that's almost $1 million. Now, the Paymaster's escort was 11 Buffalo soldiers. They were ambushed. During the attack, the bandits wounded 8 of the soldiers, forced them to retreat to cover, and then stole the payroll. As a result, for their action under fire, Sergeant Benjamin Brown and Corporal Isaiah Mays were awarded Medals of Honor, while 8 other soldiers received the Certificate of Merit. 11 men, most of them from a nearby Mormon community, were arrested, with 8 of them ultimately tried and charged with robbery. All of the accused were found not guilty, and the stolen money was never recovered. Now, even though this was a shootout between 12 Buffalo soldiers or in the Paymaster and 7 to 13 bandits, only 8 people were wounded, with possibly 1 or 2 being killed. They say possibly because a lot of them bailed off into the desert and they're not sure what happened with what. Now, the case against these Mormons that they had arrested, it was kind of weird, and they had some problems with it. One of the biggest problems, and I think this is hysterical, they cross-examined the Buffalo soldiers. If you don't know, Buffalo soldiers were black U.S. military. Well, they were using different slang that they're used to, and nobody clarified it for the jury, which was all white. So in a lot of situations, they didn't know what they were talking about. The jury deliberated for 2 hours before delivering the not guilty verdict. Deputy William Billy Breckenridge noted after the trial, the government had a good case against the robbers, but they had too many friends willing to swear to an alibi, and there were too many on the jury who thought it was no harm to rob the government. I like seeing events like this, not the robbery and possibly people getting killed, but they awarded 2 black soldiers the Medal of Honor, which is the highest award you can get in the military. This is not too long after the Civil War. There was a lot of racial tensions going on in the country. I mean, arguably to this day, but back then it was insane. But these guys did such a good job and risked their own life and limb that they got the award. Bravo. 1970. The 1970 Lubbock tornado kills 26 and causes $250 million in damages. 1985, 56 spectators die and more than 200 are injured in the Bradford City Stadium fire. The Bradford City Stadium fire occurred during a football league 3rd Division match on Saturday, May 11, 1985. At the Valley Parade Stadium in Bradford, West Yorkshire, England. The stadium was well known for its antique design and facilities, which included a wooden roof to the main stand. Previous warnings had also been given about the major buildup of litter in the cavity below the seats and stands. The stands had been officially condemned and was due to be replaced with a steel structure after the season ended. Around 3:40 p.m., television commentator John Helm remarked that he had seen a small fire in the main stands. In less than 4 minutes, the windy conditions enabled the fire to engulf the entire stand, trapping some people in their seats. Some of the crowd went onto the soccer field, or pitch, so to speak. That's what they call it in England. Others went to the back of the stands and tried to break down the locked exit door to escape. Many were burnt to death in the turnstile gates, which had also been locked as the match began. The pictures of that are just horrifying. 1997, Deep Blue, a chess-playing supercomputer, defeats Garry Kasparov in the last game of the rematch, becoming the first computer to beat a world champion chess player in a classic match format. Movies released on May 11, 2014, Dark Shadows. This is a Tim Burton movie, which was sort of a remake of the television series that was on from the late 60s and early 70s. Barnabas Collins, a vampire who is imprisoned by an angry witch, is returning home finding that his dysfunctional descendants are in need of his help. This starred Johnny Depp, Michelle Pfeiffer, Helen Bonham Carter, Jackie Earle Haley, Chloe Grace Moretz, Christopher Lee, Alice Cooper, and it was Jonathan Frydd's last movie. Jonathan Frydd played Johnny Depp's part in the series from 1967 to 1971. Side note, they pumped out a lot of episodes of the original. There was like 590 episodes. I watched it. It took me like 4 tries to get through the whole movie. It wasn't one of Johnny Depp or Tim Burton's best movies. Born on May 11th, 1888, Irving Berlin. He wrote classic songs like God Bless America and White Christmas. He is considered one of America's greatest songwriters. His songs were covered by everyone from Frank Sinatra to Jerry Garcia. In a 6-decade career, he produced 1,500 songs, 8 Academy Award nominations, and 25 chart hits. He lived to be 100 years old. Died in his sleep. That's not bad. Died on May 11, 2001, we lost Douglas Adams, English author of the popular science fiction series Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which originated as a BBC radio comedy. His other works include Long Dark Tea Time, Of the Soul, and The Meaning of Life. He attended Brentwood School, a prestigious preparatory academy, and went on to study English at St. John's College in Cambridge. Following his graduation, he moved to London to pursue a career in television and radio writing. He was a self-proclaimed atheist. Whenever someone says they're an atheist or anything, all I remember is Colonel Potter from MASH. Before he became Colonel Potter, he showed up as a crazy colonel, and then they just totally wrote him in as something else later on. But he was talking about a guy that was an atheist, and he said, hey, there's no atheists in a foxhole, which is very true. Douglas Adams died of a heart attack due to undiagnosed coronary artery disease on May 11, 2001. He was only 49 years old. He had gone to the gym in California, came home, and wasn't feeling good, and I guess passed away. 2 days before he died, the Minor Planet Center, which is this astronomy center, they named a large asteroid after him. It's called the Douglas Adams asteroid. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.